Hey everyone, Leo with Dreaming Tree, and welcome to the assembly video for our Easter pop-up card. Something different, and excited to bring it to you. There's the piece I was missing. I knew it would show up. Anyway, I've got all my pieces laid out. There's a little bit of paper piecing to do, nothing major, but let's start with the card base. Okay, it looks like this, and obviously here I've used the solid scoreline version. So to prepare this thing so that it folds like this, what you want to do is obviously you want to fold it here at this mark here, okay? And then what I did was I started folding at this line here. Now this is going to be pretty rigid because there's not going to be a fold there, but do your best to get it folded from here to almost about there, okay? And you can do the same thing there. Do the same thing there, just kind of start folding it very gently, just rocking it back and forth. And then eventually, when these kind of loosen up a little bit, you can take it and just kind of grab here and fold it in, and then press it down so that it folds like that. You have to play with it a little bit, but essentially, you've got one fold down the middle here, a fold here, a fold here, a fold here, and a fold here, and it needs to come in like this. We're going to end up with this little almost a carrot shape, okay? So once we have that in place, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start building the inside of this, okay? And we have these two pieces here, and you'll notice that one of these has a little B on it, B as in bottom, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to glue this down, and we're going to make sure that we align this correctly so that it lines up and is sitting right on top of this little slit that we have here. Okay, so let's do that. Let's get that glued down. And we're just going to slowly build this card until we end up with the end result, which is really cool. It's a little bunny in a field of flowers. Okay, so again, do your best to line that up with the little slit. That is going to be your initial guide for placement. And then also just make sure that you have a nice even border going all the way around. Okay, and this is the one with the letter B on it. B as in bunny or bottom. Okay, so we got that in place. Now we're going to go up here. We're going to glue this one down in the same manner. Just making sure that it's nice and centered. This one does not have the letter B on it. Okay, just get your glue on there. Nice and easy. And let's match that up with the slit. Oops. There we go. And again, making sure that it's nice and centered. Nice even border all the way around. If it's slightly off, it's okay. We just need literally a thickness of paper to get the little pop-up mechanism in place. We're going to put down some of the flat elements just to get them out of the way. And we do have, there's two elements that look kind of similar, look like this. They're different colors. Okay, now the larger one is going to go on the envelope, so we can put that off to the side for now. And this one is going to go right here. You'll notice that we have a series of little score marks to help you with the placement on this. Okay, so that's going to go right there. So let's go ahead and just get a little bit of glue on these little flowers. Just nice and easy. Okay, and use those little markers to help you. The largest of the three flowers is going to be on the bottom right-hand corner. Okay, and use those little markers to help you with the positioning. Just like that. Just pop that into place. I inked that just a little bit to give it a little bit of contrast. Okay, and then we have our caption. That's going to go on flat, and you'll see that we also have some markers to help you with the placement of that. But before we put this in place, let's actually put the caption together. Okay, we have the caption cut out, and it's going to say Happy Easter. So let's flip over the happy, and let's start adding our little dots of glue, just very tiny little dots. You don't need to cover the entire thing, but try to get glue on as much as you can, especially out at the edges of the letters, and then I'm going to just hit this with my finger to thin it out so I don't have a bunch of glue spitting out all over the place. Okay, and then just line that up right there like so. Make sure it fits within the little boundaries of the shadow element there. Okay, so there's our happy, and then Easter is going to go right below it like so. That looks really cute. We have an exclamation point that obviously cut out separately that we'll have to put into place. And then we also have some little bunny ears to put on the little heart. It's above the A here. We'll get to that in just a second. Go easy on the glue here. A very tiny little piece. Dab that with your finger in case you got little sections where maybe there's a little too much glue. And just drop that in. Make sure you got a nice even border all the way around. There we go, just like that. Perfect. Okay, let's take a look at our exclamation point. I've got the top part of it here, and I'm just going to do little dots, tiny little dots. And if you got a little too much on there, you can dab that with your finger, and that's just going to go right there. Make sure you got a nice even border all the way around. And then there's a tiny little guy right here. If you have a little pick-me-up tool, now's the time to use that. Okay, and that's just going to go right here. Just like that, okay. Now we also have these two little teardrop looking pieces, and they're almost the same size, not quite. There's one that's a little bit larger, and that's going to go right there on the left, and the smaller one's going to go on the right. So again, just a little drop of glue, a couple dots, and just get that right in the center so that you have an even border all the way around that. Give that a little nudge if you need to, just like that. And then the other one's going to go right next to it. And I suppose you could use some foam squares on this, but I think we're going to glue this down flat because it's a pop-up card. We want everything to sit nice and flat. Okay, there we go. There's our beautiful caption, and you can see here we do have some score marks to help you with the placement of that caption. So that's going to go right there, just like that. And that's pretty much it for the top part. And then we've added a little area for you to write or stamp, or you can have your machine write a little message right at the bottom. We'll go over that here in just a second. Use the little markers there to help you with the placement of this piece. Just to make sure you get it all nice and centered. Love these beautiful pastel colors. Okay, there we go. Perfect. And now we have this little piece here, and that's going to go right here. You'll notice that we have little markers to help you, and the markers kind of hug these little teardrops along the sides and the bottom and the top as well. Okay, so we're going to pop that right into place there. Throw a little bit of glue on the bottom of this, just like that. Okay, and don't forget to use those markers. And then we also have some independent, isolated little teardrops. There's three of, I think there's three, yeah, there's three of them. They're gonna go where these little markers are. I'll show you how that works here in a second. Just these little guys here. Okay, there's one here, and one at the bottom. There's a marker for each of them. Nice and easy with the glue there. And just pop that right on the tip where that little marker is, and make sure it's pointing in like that. Okay, so there's one. We'll do the second one here. And I did ink this a little bit with a nice light blue color. There's two. Oh boy, I thought that was black ink. I almost lost my mind there. And the last one. Pop that in place. There we go. Okay. All right, so card is coming together here. Beautiful colors. Very happy with how that turned out. I guess we can put the little flowers together. Why don't we do that real quick? So each side here is going to feature a set of flowers. And these are going to go on back to back. Okay, so this is the pattern that we've decided to use. We're going to take this one and glue it on the back so that when you're looking at the card from the other angle, from the back side, you're not seeing this random pattern, okay? And it'll also make it nice and sturdy too. So let's go ahead and begin applying glue to this piece. Nice and easy. Don't need to cake it with a ton of glue. Just make sure that you get enough on there for everything to stick. Okay, and then take this other piece, pop it in place, right on top. Make sure it lines up as accurately as you can possibly get it. There we go, perfect. And then press that down. Okay, now this set's going to go over here in just a bit. We still got to put the actual flowers on there, but we're going to do the same thing with the other half, or the other side, I should say. Let's go ahead and get our glue going. Nice and easy. And just pop that on back to back, starting with kind of the base and then working on getting the flowers matched up, because they do kind of move independently somewhat. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of arrange these how they're ultimately going to end up. And of course here, we're going to put this beautiful pink little flower here. Just a few little drops of glue will do. Don't need to overdo it. And I inked wherever I could ink. Wherever I could find a spot to ink that was big enough, I definitely brought out the ink pad and hit it with a little bit of ink, because it really just brings in a lot of interest in the card, or in anything that you do really with paper. Okay, so we'll do this one here. And you see that little cutout there in the center of the flower? Great little spot for a little rhinestone or a pearl. There we go. Okay, now this little guy here, we can do 2 layers on him. The first one's going to go on the shadow element, just like it is there in the green. So that one's going to go on flat and matched up. I've got little wispies on there from my felt applicator. That's okay. Pardon my head if it's in the way. There we go. And then you can take the second layer, and what we'll do is just put a little bit of glue in the center, around the center I should say, and then we're going to offset it like this, just like that. Okay, we'll do the same thing on the other side. And there we go. And again, just a little bit of glue in the center of the second layer, and we're going to offset it. So you don't want to put it right on top the same way. You want to rotate it so that you see all of those petals on each layer. And just press that into place. Okay, and probably put a little pearl or something on there too. And then we have the little tulips, just one tiny little tulip on each of these. And just pop that right into place. Try to get that nice and centered. There we go, and one more here. Just a little dot of glue. And that one's going right there. Now to kind of finish up these little independent pieces here, here's what we're going to do. We're going to actually glue this to this little part that folds up. Okay, and we want to give it a little bit of room. You don't want to be right on top of the score line. You can go just slightly above it and keep it. You want to also keep it within the horizontal score line here. So you don't want it over, because that's going to crease it and it won't even close. You want to keep it inside, just on this side of this horizontal line, and just slightly above that line. Okay, you want the tall flower on the right-hand side. So what we're going to do is just apply a little bit of glue to the very base of this, like so. Okay, and you can actually put this down flat, mostly flat. And again, just look at the little score mark there. You can actually put this down flat And press that down. A little bit of it is going to be hanging off, and that's by design. Okay, so there you go. Just like that. Then we'll take the other one. Same thing. Just throw a little bit of glue right on there. And you can do this flat. Again, keep it inside of that horizontal mark. There we go, just like that. And let's just make sure that it closes. Okay, looks good. As long as it closes, we know we're doing a good job. Look how beautiful that is. That is rocking. Love it. Okay, so now it's time for our little bunny. Let's get him assembled. Very simple. Okay, so we're going to take the bunny. This guy, the white one, is going to go on top of this one. So we just need to glue that down. Okay, that whole thing. You can put glue on the entire bunny. Okay, get some on the ears too. Nice and easy. A little bit on the hand. Okay. And just match that up as accurately as you can. Heads. The head, it doesn't have more than one, and the ears, beautiful. Nice little color on that. Okay, so with just like a fine tip marker, you want to color in the eyes. I'm going to color those in black. And I think this, I might have left the cap off on this thing, so I think it's just trying to start flowing again, which is fine. We go, try to get it all the way into the sides there. Okay, we'll do the same thing on the small one. There we go, now it's flowing nicely. Kind of doing it at an angle a little bit just to get it in that little nook and cranny. Okay, and we'll do the same thing with the mouth. Just color in the mouth. Okay, and then we have this tiny little piece for the nose. So you can actually kind of color up a little bit higher over the nose because we're going to plug that up with this little piece here. Okay, so just put a little bit of glue on the back of this nose. Just a tiny little dot, and then pop that in like a little puzzle piece. Okay, so there is our cute little bunny. I put the little nose in there. Now don't forget to add his little tail. Okay, and the tail is going to go like this. Okay, so you just want to match up this side with the little shadow element that's already there. And let's get that glued into place. Okay, just match that up as accurately as you can. Here we go. There's our cute little bunny. All right, so now this is where we get into the mechanics of the card. Okay, first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this bunny and we're going to slide this little tab through here. Okay, go as far as we can go with them. Then we're going to flip it over. We're going to put some glue on the inside there. We're going to pop that in this way. So I want the tab coming down towards the tip of the carrot. And don't forget to push this in as far as it'll go and just give that a quick press like that. Okay, there we go. So that is all set. And now we have this piece here. Okay, and what we're going to do with this piece is he's going to get glued to the top of the bunny's head. You can see there's a score mark here, and then there's another score mark here. That's going to go through. And what we're going to do, I want to make sure that this guy folds flat. So just give him a little nudge down if necessary, because he needs to fold. I think he needs to fold face down, which is fine. Okay, so now what we can do is you can see that we've got this piece here, and it needs to go the other way actually. It's going to get glued right to the back of his head, like so. So all we need to do is put glue on this part here, and make sure you get that glue all the way out. Okay, let's glue that to the back of his head and match it up with the ears. Just like that. Don't put any glue on this part here, just on that top part. Okay, next, I'm going to take this, feed it through the slit. Okay, just like that. And on the slit, we're going to pull this up. So here, let me pull it back out and fold this. Make sure I give it a good fold. Run it through the slit again. And it's going to go up against the inside. Now before we glue this down, let's just make sure that it folds flat, and you can see it does. It's perfect. Look how cool that is. That is so cute. Okay, so again, on this side here, we got the tab going up. We're going to throw a little bit of glue right on this tab, fold it up, hold it, and while you're holding it, before it fully sets, let's just make sure it closes. Okay, and while it's closed, just keep it closed and give that a good press, just like that. And there you have your beautiful, super cute Easter card. Okay, now we just need to add a few little elements here and there, and we'll finish this off. So let's close this up, and you can see here we've got the face of the card. It's going to go like this, and it's going to cover up that little mechanism, and I ink this with a nice reddish orange. Okay, so let's get the glue flowing on this. I want to make sure that we get that glue out to the very edge, especially, and then we'll do a little bit on the inside. Avoid the little cutout areas. Okay, now remember, this goes on the front. Just match that up as accurately as you can. Kind of run your finger along the perimeter. Press that down. Perfect. Make sure those edges are nice and in place. Okay, next we have this little piece. It's just going to go right here. Okay, and we can just, there's parts of it that are kind of hanging off. Okay, so just be conscious of where you're putting your glue. You don't want to go too far off on these two little drips. Okay, but you definitely want to put some glue here, 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 and here, and then a little bit right at the top. You want to make sure that that glue gets all the way out to the very edge of that section. And just line that up with the very, very top there. Kind of use your finger to feel, make sure that it's flush. Press that down into place. And there we go. I can't stop looking at the inside. That's so cute. Okay, and then finally, we have these two pieces. Okay, one side I inked completely. One side I only inked up at the top. We're going to put these on back to back like this. We got texture side on both sides, so that looks nice. So keep this thing nice and sturdy. And part of what this is also doing is hiding the little mechanism on the back side of the card. Okay. So again, this is just going back to back. Just match that up as accurately as you can. I like to lift that piece up and just kind of feel with my fingers to make sure everything is lined up accurately. There we go. Press that down. Perfect. And then that's going to go right back here on this surface. Okay, so you see you've got so much extra room here to write anything you want. And then also just kind of finishes this part off too. Okay, so what we want to do is we'll just put glue on this entire back part of the card all the way out to the edge. It's a pretty quick little card. And you should be able to get this done under 20 minutes. Okay, and let's make sure I got the right side. Line that up with the bottom first. Just kind of get a feel for the rest of it, and then just press that down. There we go. Okay, so that's it for the card. And of course, every card that you get from Dreaming Tree comes with a coordinating envelope. So let's put that together real quick. Okay, I have that here. It's made up of this one piece, the main part of the envelope. Okay, and we have this little piece. It's going to go right here, just to kind of give the envelope a sort of a two-tone appearance. So what we need to do is apply our glue to this part of the flap. Let's get that on there. And then we'll need to put a little bit of glue on the little floral elements here. You don't need a ton, but just a few little drops here and there just to keep it in place. And because I'm doing foil here, I need to be careful and make sure I get this on my first try here. So just kind of slide it up against the score mark. Make sure it's centered. Whoops. It's a little slippery. Make sure it's centered. And then just take and fold that down. Just be real decisive and just get it done. There we go. Perfect. Almost. And I guess the benefit of using foil is that I have a few extra seconds before it fully sets because it's not as porous. It really doesn't draw that glue in as quickly. Okay, so while we're waiting for that to set, you can see here we've got this little guy. It's going to go on the flap. Like that. And just match that up with the design there on the envelope. There we go. Beautiful. And then finally, I'm going to take these two wings in, throw a little bit of glue right there, right along the inside. We'll do the same thing here. Now this envelope, when you put the card in, you're going to put it in at an angle, and then just take the bottom, close it up. Okay, press that down. Give that a few seconds to set. So you're not going to put this in straight. I guess you technically could, but it's more, yeah, either way, it works. Okay, so there's your beautiful coordinating envelope, and that is going to do it. I love it. Less than 20 minutes, start to finish. Obviously, it's going to take a little extra time to cut things out, but totally worth it. Something completely different. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please visit us on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, and while you're there, hit the little bell so you get notifications anytime we release a new product, whether it be paid or free. And if you make this or anything from our latest bundle, I'd love to see it, and so would the rest of our community. So head over to your Facebook and do a search for Dreaming Tree Official. That's where you'll find myself and over 40,000 other dreamers that inspire us daily. So get hopping. I want to see your version. And as always, I look forward to crafting with you again. Hey, thanks for crafting along with me. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, check out some of our other videos. And also, please consider hitting that subscribe button. And don't forget to visit our site and check out our free SVG section where we have over 140 free SVG files complete with assembly videos. I look forward to crafting with you soon.